Hello legends of the channel, it's your boy here with a long-awaited video about RNG manipulation in FireRed and LeafGreen for the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. RNG manipulation on this new console started out a bit horrifying to say the least. If several discoveries and advancements weren't made thanks to the legends of this community, we'd be dealing with a really unstable emulator. I want to make it clear that the purpose of this video is to show you exactly what I did and how I did it. I want to explain to you how RNG manipulation works in this game. You may be able to treat it like a tutorial, but through the storytelling of my RNG grinding, I hope to impart the lessons I've learned so you don't repeat my mistakes. I want to share the constant discoveries that were made and why it was not wise to just shove out a guide on whatever I was doing. One thing that is important about RNG in FireRed and LeafGreen is the initial seed. Initial seeds appear in a linear sequence starting from the beginning point when you do a hard reboot only. This is why you do not soft reset, and this is why we always watch the entire intro every time. A new seed appears every 16 milliseconds. The seed itself pulls from the CPU's internal clock called Timer 1, which is much faster than 60 FPS, but the game only reads inputs every frame. The thing about RNG seeds is that pillars of the RNG community have created a complex bot with custom code to record the initial seeds for us. The reason we need them in order is to calibrate the first part of your timer for any RNG manipulation. Before the master seed list becomes available for everyone, you have to manually farm your own seeds, which is very time consuming and very tedious and can be unreliable and cause a lot of frustration. Hence the birth of the custom seed bot. Seeds are different for FireRed and LeafGreen, and the intro timers will be adjusted for Switch 1 and Switch 2. I will not be going over how to manually farm your own seeds, because the massive botted seed list will become available soon. It is not mine to share. In my RNGs that I have been doing on my streams, I have used my own manually farmed seeds, so there's been extra layers of frustration when you don't know just exactly how far apart they are, which ones are earlier or later, causing miscalibrations of timers and massive wastes of time. One of the major discoveries of RNG that was made was the fact that wireless mode is always enabled, so once the game is off of file select, RNG advances are twice as fast. Then, we thought activating the mystery gift made it even out, but it turned out that it doesn't. So to control RNG most reliably, manipulations on the Switch are going to require a triple frame perfect input, the initial seed, the advances at 1x speed at the file select, and then the advances at 2x speed when you actually claim the Pokemon. That's why in my starter clips, you see me wait at the file select, but in my earlier RNGs I wasn't waiting, basically calibrating around wonky RNG advances all on my own, further wasting my own time. The other thing was that a few days after I'd already tried a bunch of RNG manipulation, the home buffer was discovered, making things even more stable, but also requiring the seedbot farms to start all over, and for me to get some more of my own seeds. After accomplishing some RNGs, which by the way, I obtained my secret ID with ace glitches, which is not something I normally do. In this game, the trainer ID and secret ID combo is what determines the shiny Pokemon that exists on those seeds. The more seeds, the more spreads. Things like your button settings and what button you push at the start screen affect seeds also. Once again, mentioning the power of the seed bot. I got my first file's secret ID with glitches just for testing and pulling off some RNG. But what I really like doing with RNG manipulation is finding a shiny starter at a brand new save file and my secret ID at the same time. This requires using a timer at the game file creation. One thing about the constant wrong information about the frame speed is that using an improper console on the Eon timer. We pulled off RNGs with the custom console and a higher frame rate just with calibrating. In reality, we are just going to be back using Gen 3/GBA as the console for Eon timer. It will be that timer for both Switch 1 and Switch 2. Now let's talk about the starter and deducing your own secret ID and getting a shiny starter at the same time. In FireRed and LeafGreen, your secret ID is going to be generated after you choose your new character's name. Once you press start on the character name selection, the RNG is underway. We use a 901 advanced timer in the old days, and we applied that to this process too, but we have to take into account that the RNG is moving at 2x speed. There is a tool where you input the trainer ID you get on your trainer card and convert that to hex, and it gives you the possible secret IDs. I had already checked multiple potential secret IDs on one of my game files before we learned that the rival's name choice will lock you into even or odd number frames when it comes to that SID generation. So once again, I wasted a ton of extra time that I did not need to because the discovery was not made yet, further invalidating any guide I might have shoved out into the world. The shiny starter and secret ID process becomes a process of elimination. This process is tedious, and oftentimes you will have to knock off potential secret IDs off of your list by hitting a target that would only be shiny if the secret ID is correct. Once you hit the target you set out for underneath a given secret ID, if it is not shiny, you know it is time to go and check another secret ID. So after all of my grinding on RNG manips for the Switch, the final actual real tutorial that I really want to make will have to be after the seed list and 10 lines programs are updated, which I believe is going to be the day after this upload. The way I did this RNG is not necessarily the best or most efficient, with a bunch of improvements and programs that people have created. For me personally, I enjoy doing things manually. For example, getting my seeds, getting my secret ID. It's very rewarding, and that's why I pop off so hard in my clips. If I was a person who was farming seeds for the public, then I'd be able to make a tutorial much faster. But at the end of the day, it is not my liberty. And once again, several discoveries kept coming out day after day, which would have constantly invalidated my previous guides, and anyone following them would have been completely wasting their time and just causing more frustration and people not trusting me to actually be able to help them. I still hold the title of World's First all shiny starters via RNG manips with no glitches on the Nintendo Switch. I am very thankful for all the support recently in my channels, all my content, and especially on the streams. I will certainly make proper guides for the starter, for sweet sending, for static and legendary encounters with RNG manipulation when everything is available for everyone. I hope you will continue to enjoy my channels and my content. I am a streamer and entertainer first, at least that's how I see myself, before I am a YouTuber or guide maker in anything. So again, thanks for giving me a chance, and I really appreciate everyone who's been in my channel. And another thing is, Holy Mother of God, if you want to see some absolutely insane comments, please check my Instagram and my TikTok, because I've been posting RNG clips on Instagram and TikTok, and it seems to have been reaching a new audience, and also a very, very diehard audience who you should just go look for yourself. Thank you guys so much. I cannot thank you enough. I will continue to make streams and videos about RNG manipulation. Things are going to get easier and smoother as we go. That has been the entire purpose of me doing what I've been doing. Thanks again. I really hope you'll like and subscribe, and I'll see you around.